Batoba Mudimu! What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. It's been a long day for me. In fact, I traveled today, but you wouldn't understand because you still see me on camera. Yeah, even when I travel, you still get content. That's how dedicated we are. Actually, that's how we want to serve you. Because I know some of you come here twice a day to look for me, to look for us. Truly appreciate it. Thank you very much for choosing us once more. My name is Zack. I don't know who you are, but we're certainly going to love each other because we are the same people. Thank you very much. There's a button here. I think it's called subscribe. Please feel free. Click on the button so we can see each other every single day. So today we're going to touch upon Niger. We have a story about Uganda and we have a story about South Africa. So let's go. Okay, so in Niger, something very interesting has happened. Niger has just chased a French company that treated water. Congratulations again. I know we've spoken about Niger very much. Let me clap my hands. We've spoken about Niger very, very much. We're going to talk about them a lot because I know a lot of people don't understand. So it's very necessary that we talk about the continent. Many of our brothers, I see you from all over the place. Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, USA, South Sudan. I know a lot of us watch us. So some people may not understand exactly what's happening. So it is our task to bring it to the table. Okay, so Niger has just chased a company from France. This company treated water in Niger. So basically, as you can imagine, they exploit the water, they treat the water, and they serve water into Nigerian households. Yes, it's a company from France that does it. Water from the tap? Yeah, it is provided from a French company. That's how deep the colonization was. And yeah, very sad. But now I see people starting very slowly to free themselves. In Niger, France and its company are no longer welcome. The soldiers who have ruled the country since the fall of Mohamed Bazoum regime have made it very clear, and their decision will not please Emmanuel Macron. Very clearly, you know Macron is not a humble guy, okay? Let's go. So they put an end to a contract that binds a company of France named Veolia to Niger through a subsidiary. This French company was responsible for exploiting the waters of the Nigerian people and in return providing drinking water for the population. So this company named Veolia Waters, they're actually quite big. They treat water in some different countries. They don't give you the technology though. They come to your country, they exploit the waters. You know what exploiting waters mean? It's going deep, getting water in the water. All the goodness that can come out of the water. But in return, they gave Nigerians drinking water. So instead of teaching you how to do your thing, or instead of us signing a contract to say, I'm going to train your people on how to provide water for you. No, I'm just going to exploit your water and in return, give you drinking water. But this is no longer the case since the waters consumed by the population of Niger will be treated by a Nigerian company. Congratulations! That's what I'm talking about. So no more Veolia, whatever water from France for the Nigerian people. From now on, it's going to be treated by a company of Nigerian origin. This is what we're talking about, fellas. When you bring somebody from elsewhere to come and help you do something, build something, bring somebody to build roads, you need to learn from them. You bring somebody in to build infrastructure, to build buildings, to build hospitals, you need to learn from their technology. You bring somebody in to build railroad, electricity, or any other thing, you need to learn from their technology. Because the bottom line is, if they ever left, they decide to leave, what's going to happen? Are you able to continue, perpetuate, take care of your country by yourself? Or do you just want to pay and be an eternal dependent? That's not how you want to go. You bring people in, they teach you the technology, then you learn. You learn how to do it yourself. Whether they're there or not, you know how to continue. Because friends of today sometimes become enemies tomorrow. So be very careful. The Nigerian government has adopted a draft decree establishing the statute of a brand new state company responsible of the exploitation and the drinking waters of Nigerian. It's called Nigérien des Eaux, meaning this is what we want. Okay, let's do this. Congratulations to Niger. So after more than 22 years, the country will be able to manage its vital sector itself. I mean, fellas, let's put it this way. You got somebody that exploits your water and he delivers water into your household. And this person and you don't get along anymore. You're not friends anymore. You don't see eye to eye anymore. Will you still, with your rational mind, let them provide water for your children? No, I mean, let's just think. You just had a fight with the person that you used to work with for a long time and it's a really, really bad fight. Then all of a sudden you chase them away and they leave your whatever area. But will you still let them provide water, drinking water to your children? You wouldn't do that. Why? Because obviously, he's got access to your health, doesn't he? He's got access to your health. If he treats your water, you don't know what you're getting out of your tap. It makes absolute nonsense. And I think it makes completely sense for a Nigerian rational mind to say, you know what, fella, you and I have worked together for the past 22 years. We don't see eye to eye anymore. I think it's time we part ways. And as we parting ways, I'm no longer using any of your services anymore, especially not anything that's going to come into my body. Do we make sense? Now, something happens before that. There was an ambassador. For context, quickly, in Niger, for some of you who don't know, Niger was run by a president who was very supportive of the French people. Niger was a country that was colonized by the French. Here's a map. Here's a map of Niger. Very hot place by lovely people. The country was colonized by French people. They ruled the country for many, many years. In 1960, they freed the country, okay, supposedly an independence, like many other African nations. Nigeria was liberated in 1960, so did Ghana, so did Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, and many other countries. However, that supposedly or pretentiously liberation was not complete because these colonizers still held the economy of Africa by the balls. So they still control Africa. And Niger, in the same token, Niger was controlled by the French. And obviously, this president, Mohamed Bazoum, was working for the interests of the Europeans, was not liked very much by his own people. And his own people, especially his guards, fought against him. They toppled him, threw him over. He's no longer president. They put him in house arrest because they wanted to follow the way of the people. Now Niger is free. And before they kicked away the French people, they called the ambassador of France. They said to him, Mr. Sylvain Ité, can you please come? Because we have new rules in the country. We need to have a cooperation and an understanding. This French ambassador refused to respond. Yes. In somebody else's country, they call you, come, let's talk. He said, no, I'm not going. He doesn't even respond to the authorities. Then they say, okay, because you're not responding to us, we're giving you 48 hours to leave the country. And immediately, France responded saying, you have no authority to ask our ambassador to leave the country because you're not legal. You're not legitimate government. They say, oh, okay, so you think you're clever, we're going to show you. And the people of Niger came down the street in millions, asking the French people to leave the country. In Niger was stationed about 1,500 French military. The people, the civilians, asked them to leave the country. And just before that, that's very cocky ambassador made a comment saying, oh, well, if you don't like white people anymore, you must stop drinking water from white people. That's what he said. Yeah, he said that. The diplomat invited residents in this term. He says, stop drinking the water since it's European. Stop drinking the water because the water is European. Because you're asking Europeans to leave your country, then stop drinking the water because the water you drink is European. Now, what a way to respond to this person by saying, you know what, you can now take your company since it's European, go with it. We're going to deal with the waters ourselves now. Congratulations. That's what we want to see. So we are in Palestine. You know what's happening in Palestine? Well, may God be with them. Not nice things at all. Very sad situation. We spoke about something very interesting in a previous video about how South Africa has taken Israel to court. Yeah, South Africa has taken Israel to court, accusing it of doing inhuman things. I'm not going to say the word because we're getting censored when you say these things. And yeah, they've been to court the 11th. They're going to be on Israel today. Now, we got a reaction from Palestinians. Look at Palestinians singing the South African national anthem as a thankful token to the South African people who have shown so much bravery by standing for Palestinians. Not all Palestinians, I don't care how you feel, not all Palestinians deserve what they're going to. Absolutely not. And the Palestinians are now singing the South African national anthem. Let's go. This is Nelson Mandela's statue here. Osisi Galali Africa. Mandazo Yesu Osisi Galela So, Sibuluke, oh, Sibuluke, si Chabasa. So as you can see, as you can see, this is a way to show how thankful they are to the courage that South Africans show. I mean, Palestine is a Muslim country. Where are all the Muslim countries? Why don't the Muslim countries stay firm and stand with them? They're brothers, aren't they? They look alike. They pray to the same God, don't they? You see, that's why I said to you, your brother is not necessarily somebody that looks like you. Your brother is not. Your brother is somebody that fight for you, fight with you, support you. And history tells us that at the time when South Africa was still ruled by an apartheid government, the apartheid was the system where Africans were separated from white people. Now, in the meantime, they subjected black people into a system that was really horrendous. A lot of black people could not go into areas that were white. You're going to get arrested. And in order for black South Africans at the time to leave an area to go to another, they needed a visa in their own country. Yes, that was the apartheid government from 1948 to 1994. Okay, so while you were walking in the street being happy, a lot of South Africans did not enjoy that privilege. So Nelson Mandela was a good friend of Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat was a leader of the Palestinians. So many times they came together in discussion. Obviously, when two people are going through hardships, a very similar situation, they become friends. And Mandela vowed that there will not be liberation, complete liberation of South Africa, if Palestine is still under the shackle of oppression. That's why there's this friendliness, this familyness that South Africans, especially the ANC, has towards Palestine. And they were very clear about it, going to court, the International Court of Justice against Israel in terms of this. I think this is the best way to, I don't know if there's any other better way to thank people for their support, singing their national anthem in an area that is called Mandela Square in Gaza. You see that statue you see there? That's Mandela. That's the statue of Mandela, Nelson Mandela, that exists right now in Gaza. It's called Mandela Square. So congratulations. I think this courage that is displayed, the support, it's amazing to see. Okay? Congratulations. Now we are in Uganda. Okay, so we have a very interesting speech from the president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, who's been very strong lately. I'm not going to make many comments because we're getting censored. I'm sure you're going to get the context. Let's go. So we're going to watch, and after watching, we will redo it with comments. Let's go.
The pressures we are getting from outside about the homosexual bill. Some of the people may be worried, but me, I'm not really worried at all. This is because this is an opportunity to clarify one point, that Uganda can stand on its own. And some of us are indigenous people of this area. This is our area. For the last more than 1,000 years, we have been active here. The Europeans came for a short period, they went. Our communities are very strong. So for me, I am confident that we shall manage. And you can see, you can look at our economy, it's growing. Look at the inflation. Inflation is one of the lowest now in the whole world. Inflation now here is 2.3%. You ask the inflation in America.
Very powerful speech, but we're going to try to break it down very quickly. Let's go.
The pressures we are getting from outside about the homosexual bill. Some of the people may be worried, but me, I'm not really.
The pressure Uganda is getting from all over the world against a subject nobody talks about. You talk about the subject, you get censored. You understand what subject that is. It's a subject that Africans don't want to hear. You know which one it is. Okay, so in most African nations, they don't lack that. I'm not talking about that because you already know what it is. And Uganda's been under tremendous pressure from all over the world because they want them to just be okay with it. And being okay with that means Uganda has to abandon its natural culture and tradition. Let's go.
Worried at all. This is because this is an opportunity to clarify one point, that Uganda can stand on its own. And some of us are indigenous people of this area. This is our area. For the last more than 1,000 years, we have been.
So they want to clarify that this land belongs to Ugandans. Nobody else can come to Uganda and force them to do anything that goes against their will and their tradition. Okay, he said this land belongs to us. We've been here for over 1,000 years. We are indigenous here. So nobody else can come here and tell us what to do and how to live.
Active here. The Europeans came for a short period, they went. Our communities are very strong. So for me, I am confident that You shall manage.
I am confident that we can manage. You know, sometimes the negative things happen to you, not really because you need to fall from it. Sometimes negative things come to you and they actually teach you how to grow. They teach you how to be stronger. After all the negative things, I'm not going to say those things. If you want to know about what's happening between Uganda and World Bank, Uganda and United States, you can Google it and find out. Because if I speak about it, we're getting censored. And soon you won't be seeing anything. So what I'm saying to you is the shock they're trying to apply on Uganda has actually shown Uganda that it is capable of flourishing even without the help. Let's go.
And you can see, you can look at our economy. It's growing. Look at the inflation. Inflation is one of the...
The economy is growing. The economy of Uganda is growing. They thought they were going to shut it down because they refused to live in a certain way. They say our economy is growing. The inflation is at the lowest now in the whole world.
Lowest now in the whole world. Inflation now here is 2.3%. You ask the inflation in America.
You ask the inflation in America. Thank you very much, fellas. It's always a great pleasure. I appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, please do so now because YouTube say you guys watch, but you're not. Why are you not subscribing? They say you watch, but you're not subscribed. You should be subscribed. I mean, let's grow this community. Okay, let's do that. And please don't go without leaving your comments. God bless.